What is the stupidest thing that has come out of your mouth that you're willing to admit to? In Paris, I said bon noir to a black man who had just made me a crepe. It was nighttime and I was just trying to say good night. Bon noir means good black. I was trying to go for bon note apostrophe. Name a country that starts with the letter Q. Cuba. I watched my friend win a game of Scrabble by spelling it as Cuba and no one corrected him. LMAO. Mike Tyson? Isn't that the guy who made the George Foreman grill? Not too proud of that. I got a George Foreman grill for Christmas and told my family that I had gotten a Gary Coleman grill. Everyone laughed at me. Thanks Drake and Josh. When my dad and brother were in London for 4th of July, I remember saying I bet their 4th of July fireworks are insane. My sister just looked at me like you're a fucking moron apostrophe. This one time I thought the 4th was Tuesday, but it was a Wednesday, so when my brother told me that, I told him the 4th is on the 5th. Me when I was 17 getting pulled over. Officer, so you weren't wearing your seatbelt, right? Wink me. I was wearing my seatbelt, but I was speeding. Officer, I'm going to try this one more time. I didn't see you wearing your seatbelt, which is not a moving violation, as opposed to speeding, which is. Understood. Me, no, I was wearing my seatbelt. Officer, okay, you were speeding. Here's your ticket. My parents, you may be honest, but by God, how the fuck did we raise such an idiot? I did almost the same as you. I was 17 as well. Got pulled over for speeding and going through a red light. But when I stopped I took my seatbelt off to reach for the glove compartment to get my registration and forgot to put it back on. Officer takes my info and comes back. So you're getting a ticket today for not wearing your seatbelt, but I was wearing my seatbelt. Looks down, realizes I wasn't wearing it. Officer, when I walked up to the car you didn't have it on, but then I realized he wasn't giving me a ticket for speeding or going through the red light. So I didn't argue and took the seatbelt ticket. I was going for a job interview once. As we shook hands the interviewer told me her name. I then introduced myself also using her name. Her name is not my name. It was embarrassing, but I still got the job. And just for clarification, I'm also a woman. So it's not like my name is Jim, and I introduce myself as Lisa, although that would be funny. 90 minutes? I thought we had an hour and a half. I still get made fun of for that. When I was in first grade a teacher told me I could bring a movie in case it rained during recess, but that the movie couldn't be longer than half an hour. So the next day I brought Thomas and the Magic Railroad, which is 90 minutes. She told me we didn't have time to watch that, and I told her it was half an hour. I didn't understand that half an hour and an hour and a half were two different lengths of time. Orange isn't a color, it's a flavor. Dumbus. That you bothered to add Dumbus really made me laugh. While riding in the car with a friend, I kind of have to poop, me, but I just went. I meant every bit of it, and it took me almost 10 seconds of my friend laughing for me to realize what happened. In a group of friends I once said, "Oh, I just got super hungry. Anyone else feel that?" Everyone laughed at me for a good 30 seconds. Then one of them piped up with, "Wait, I actually did. Let's go get some food." Apostrophe. Told my girlfriend she looked like a hot version of Gollum. I woke up from a deep sleep and had to pee really bad, but saw the bathroom door was closed. I knew it was only me and my dad home, so I ran downstairs. Found him in the living room and yelled, "Are you in the bathroom?" He slowly shook his head and I ran back upstairs. Woke up later and remembered. Embarrassment followed. I think your head would have exploded. Had he said yes, he probably would have said, "Hurry up then. I have to pee." Looking at a handheld map. Where's the "you are here" icon? I was a senior in high school at the time. A week after getting my first car I asked my father if the expiration sticker on the license plate meant that the car wouldn't be good anymore after that date. I was 17. Cars, milk cartons, pretty much the same thing. Both feature missing children. Do you think there's enough steel in the world to build the Eiffel Tower? Context: was a little drunk with a few friends and someone said there wasn't enough gold in the world to make the base of the tower, so without thinking dropped that on them. This could have been turned around towards that person as sarcasm. Like, as if there isn't that much gold. Of course there's that much gold to make a base for the tower. Oh god. I hope the baby isn't mine. I'm female. I had just found out that my ex had a child. Close bracket. I always thought it would be hilarious if when a girl was asked, "So you have any kids?" she responded with none that I know of. Crossing the border back into America from Mexico. Sweating bullets because all my paperwork and ID got stolen. And a border guard says, "Everybody in here American?" I reply, "Si senor." Gasps, "I've done this exact same thing. I had my paperwork and whatnot. But I had been unofficially translating for my church group all week. I was the only one who could speak conversational Spanish. And I was just in the mindset when we crossed. The border guards opened all the doors, take a look at us, and ask, 'Is everyone here American?' And I said, 'Si,' in a really bright, cheery voice. He looked straight at me, and it took me a few seconds to realize what I had done. I shook my head and said, 'I mean, yes.' That was when I started sweating bullets, because my maiden name was Jimenez, and I thought they were going to pull all of my church group out for questioning. Luckily the guard just chuckled and waved us through. My dad still teases me about this, nearly 15 years later. You know those things that you put papers in? They fold and sometimes have designs or photos on them? I think they're called folders? No, that's not it. You fold them. Folders? No. Apostrophe. Ugh, reminds me of a high school story. I had a French teacher right out of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Seriously. Every week she would teach us a French idiom, and we had to guess what it meant, which was pretty fun. One week, the idiom literally meant "I have other cats to whip," to mean that one has better things to do. She could not, for the life of her, remember how to say whip in English. We told her that it was whip, but she was convinced that the verb form was different than the noun. She eventually gave up and never came back to it. Madame Alanga was a character. I read this as she eventually gave up and never came back, and I felt so sorry for her. It's just so hard. I go in every day and try to teach them my language, and when I have problems, they all just lie to my face. Even Tetengiri, and he's usually such a good kid. I can't go back. Madame Alanga then descends into uncontrollable sobs as she buys her ticket back to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Can you let me go this time? I just got a ticket last week for speeding on this same road. Apostrophe. When I was a little kid, the first time I had peanuts. OMG, this tastes kinda like peanut butter. What if butter was black? Context: kindergarten teacher supervising my students serving themselves snack. One student picks up the tongs and asks me what many grapes. Without pausing or thinking, I reply, "For many. This may or may not have happened today. I have adopted 3 kids whose first language wasn't English. I find myself dragged down to their level all the time. Kid, I haven't got it my snack yet. You got it 10 minutes ago. I saw you." Apostrophe. In high school's one of my first parties, I was drinking rather fast, being inexperienced, and being a general dumb teenager. Fast forward a couple hours, and I'm making out with a chick on a bed. She's super into it. She whispers in a fucking sultry ass voice, "We should fuck." Now, I was a virgin, and I didn't want to get it in and finish in a couple seconds, and I'd heard about how booze makes you last longer. My thought process was that I could put off the sexes, go have a couple more drinks with her, then get back to the room and bang for hours. I didn't realize how drunk I was, because all that came out of my mouth while I looked this horny girl in the eyes was wait. I need to be more drunk for that. I didn't get laid for over a year and a half after that. Edit for clarification, she wasn't a loose random girl. She was, still is, one of my good friends. We had a bit of distance after that. I later found out she liked me at the time. And now that we are grown-ups, it's something we can laugh about. Though to make matters worse, she had some self-esteem issues at the time. I still feel really bad when I think about the circumstances.